Hello, everybody. It is Blues Day Tuesday here on Born Again to Live. I am so excited. You want to know why, Eric? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Yeah, no, I have one of my all-time favorite people in the entire world, probably universe, actually. And right before we started recording this, I was saying, well, it's Nahkita, you guys. We've talked about her before. But Nahkita is the reason I'm here at Big Blue. And so this is what makes her so great about people we're interviewing. So to back it up, Eric and I were going to lunch because, as you guys know, we love to eat. So on our way to lunch, I said, boy, I'm really enjoying having all these Blues Day Tuesday interviews with Pastor Oakley and Steve Shook. And I said, I'd love to get more people. And I mentioned Nahkita. And no kidding, guys, we picked up our sandwiches and on the way back, there she was going into the bank. And Eric's like, is that Nahkita? So we grabbed her, we wrestled her to the ground. Actually, she's the wrestler in this group. But no, we brought her over here so we could interview her. But what's so unique about Nahkita is she is from both of our ministries. She was a kid at Big Blue before she went off to WVU for college. And then she also came to my camp in Star Tannery, Virginia. So she really is the real deal. And I was just saying before we started this session, Nahkita is the reason I'm at Big Blue, because when I realized her and her brother Sky, I only got to see them twice a year at camp. And then when Big Blue opened and I'm like, wait a minute, you're telling me on a weekly basis, I can see some of my favorite people in the whole world. I was like, sign me up. So that's how I got involved with Big Blue. So welcome, Nahkita.
Be here.
Yeah. So you just finished your first semester at WVU. Tell us how that was.
Oh my gosh. Okay. The first semester was crazy. I failed most of my classes. So I had to retake a lot of them. But I came out strong this semester.
Yay.
I passed almost all of them. I did fail one of them, sadly. I'll have to retake it again. But it was a lab, and those are hard.
Yeah.
So it's okay. The rest of them I passed with A's and B's, and that's really hard. And Sky could do that, so
Haha.
that's a win.
First affair.
Okay, y'all don't know this, but Sky is the smartest guy I know. So
Yeah.
that is a really big win.
Yeah, her brother is smart. He's all about artificial intelligence. I'm surprised he didn't just make a brain to take his finals for him.
Literally.
But no, I'm so glad that you are, there is a learning curve to going off to college, and that discipline and that living on your own. There's a lot to learn there. So
You're in good company. It took me 3 years to get a 2-year.
Well, and Eric's always mad because when Nahkita and me and oftentimes Shanda, we have our girls' time together. Eric's always getting he's always getting left out. So
Full sword.
Yeah, we took a trip a while ago. We went to New York a while back on a mission trip, and I never went to an aquarium before, and I said it there, and they wanted me to take me to an aquarium, and so Amy and Shanda said they were going to take me to an aquarium, but they said that Eric couldn't go because it was a girls' trip, and so we were going to take my best friend Amy, my other Amy, with me. But she couldn't go, so we ended up taking my cousin Christian, who is also a guy. And so Eric got really salty and upset at us because we didn't take him, but we took my cousin instead.
selfish.
But not happy I wasn't.
You can come the next time.
So guys, now you see why I love Nahkita so much. She is this bright, bubbly light in my life. She is smart despite what her first semester at college might have said, but also she is so freaking creative. She can sing. She's a Renaissance woman just like you, Eric. Yeah.
And earlier when we met her at the bank, the best hugs.
Mm-hmm.
The best hugs you can get come from the She gives such good.
Oh, and actually, speaking of which, I believe you two might have a knee wrestling thing you might have to sort out later.
One time. Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying. It's going down, you guys. But okay, Eric, we're going to now give you time. We're going to give you the floor for just pepper in a little bit of guy stuff here. Go ahead with your.
I don't know. I mean, she's a wrestling champion, and she's amazing, and I just love Nikki. Glad she decided to cross the street, talk to us a little bit. So maybe we'll do a little interview. Sketching up. So the common thread in these interviews, Nahkita. We've been talking to others about when they started serving God and a little bit of their testimony. So the floor is yours. Take as long as you need to tell us what and how you found God and a little about your backstory, because your story is amazing.
It's really tough. I grew up with a really, really tough family. My mom and dad were both on drugs. We lived on the streets for most of my life. I remember one night falling asleep literally on a park bench. So apparently that happened more than once. But I don't remember it. Sky does, not me. So yeah. But we also got physically abused. I remember one time specifically my mother beating us with a hairbrush. She broke the brush over my hip. And then she proceeded to hit me with the sharp edge of the handle. She stopped afterwards and apologized, of course, but like my hip was still bleeding, so it was tough. We eventually got taken away from them, and we moved in with our foster parents, and that's where I first met God. It was literally a godsend to be taken away from them. We moved in with the Reeds. They were my foster parents. That's when we first started going to church. We went to church before we moved, but I don't remember it very well, so I can't really say that I knew God then. But we went to church with the Reeds. I didn't really understand it, though. But when I moved back to West Virginia with my grandparents and we started going to church, I started getting more interested. Before it was just like we would do crafts and back in class, and that was fun. I'm crafty, as you would say. You know, I like doing stuff with my hands. It keeps my head distracted. But then I got in the bigger kid class, and we would do trivia, and so I would study up so that I was as good as my brother. Because that's what I strive to be. I really look up to him. And then I started going to Big Blue, and of course, I started going to camp first. But again, back then, before I got into 7th grade, but I started going to Big Blue first. But it was just, again, I would go listen to the really cool stories and play games and swim in the cool pool, eat really good food and Chick-fil-A and make really cool crafts. We made pillows one time. It was really like tough because we had to tie stuff together and I had really tiny hands. And my hands don't like to do what they're told sometimes, so it was kind of tough. But I think when I first, met God was at church camp. When was it? I think it was my 11th grade year there. I was saved.
Yeah.
We were doing Vespers. It was Pastor Doug asked if anyone wanted to be saved. I didn't go up first. Maddie Shiflett did. And I never go up first for stuff like that. You wouldn't know it from hearing me now. I don't seem it, but I'm a very shy person.
She can be.
I'm pretty shy. I stay to myself around new people. And these people aren't new, and I love my camp family. They're like my closest people, and I love them so dearly. And I love my Big Blue family so much.
Yeah.
But around big groups of people, I'm really bad at expressing myself. But as soon as one person went up, I closed my eyes and I went up. And I stood next to Doug, and I got saved that day. And it opened up a new life for me. And I've been serving God ever since. And I went on that mission trip, and it was the best thing that I've ever done.
Love that.
Literally. And I think it was This is before I was saved. I'm kind of like backtracking. I'm sorry. I'm a little hard to follow. If you had
No, that's okay. All right, so you got saved at camp, and if I'm gonna jump in here for a second,
Yeah.
Nahkita, I remember you telling me this was summer of 2020,
yeah.
and for all of us that remember that summer, everything was shut down because of COVID.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm trying to organize and get camp ready, and I had people and some churches that would not give to the camp because they didn't think we should be having camp that year. But, you know, Nahkita, we have this saying at Big Blue that says one soul is worth it all, right? And when I look at that, you're one of the people I think of. I'm like, that whole summer, that big pain in the butt called COVID, and still trying to scrape together money and help, and even like getting enough kids and everything. And I think we ended up having like 80 kids, but like that summer might have been all for you. Like, that's how much God loves us, right? That whole camp was because this is the year Nahkita's going to get saved. So that was summer of 2020. And now Eric's back. He had to step out for a second.
Yeah, I got a call from my insurance agent.
Oh yeah. He's still trying to get that. Remember that house that burned down like eons ago? We're still working on that. So anyway, he stepped out for a second, but it's good because Nahkita was just getting ready to talk about the best thing ever, which was the mission trip. So now we're fast forwarding to summer of 2024.
2024.
Yeah. Okay. So
July 2020.
but you said prior to that, right?
Yeah.
We're going to
prior
backtrack.
to that, I think it was the same year I got saved, or the year right before was when I brought Amy to camp for the first year.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
I think that was the best thing that I did for her too.
Mm-hmm.
And she got saved a couple years later.
Yeah.
One of the biggest threads we have in this, Nahkita, in our podcast is sharing the word, and that we're not waiting on heaven. We're actually bringing heaven to earth by sharing it with other people. So the fact that you're saying that's one of the best things you ever did, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And I love that about you, that you're not afraid to share your faith. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm so blessed that you and Amy have each other to get through this life, together with. I love how close you guys are. You are like sisters. You have each other's back. And I so appreciate you bringing her to camp, because I think that has made a huge difference in her life too. Well, we're gonna figure something out. Don't you worry. We're here's what we're gonna do, because Eric hates it when I say this. Let's do a girls' trip. Okay, so now we got to get to the Big Blue mission trip, because we're talking about both places here.
Yes, this is where everything came together. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Oh, and it also, like, stuff fell apart too, because this is where it costed a lot of money to go, and I couldn't afford it. And my best friend Amy was supposed to come with us, and she couldn't afford it. And so I think it was you guys paid for us to go, right?
Yeah. We fundraised, and people donated so you guys could go.
Because money's not enough.
Yeah.
We can pass that.
They fundraised so that we could go, so we could go, because we didn't have the funds to do it. And then she ended up dropping out last minute, which was really upsetting. But she had her personal reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I figured out later on. She had very specific reasons that she couldn't go.
Yeah.
It was very upsetting, but I 100% understand her reasonings. But it was very worthwhile going. I wish you were there.
I wish I had her too.
So I'm going to step out on a limb, though, and say that God knows what he's doing, Nahkita, and that if you and Amy had both gone, you wouldn't have had the same experience. So
I know you told me that there too.
believe that, I still looking back today, that God had you there for a purpose and a reason, and I think you got that.
So many things happened when we were there. Oh, hey, Grandma's here. So many things happened when we were there. We went and saw the waterfall. Oh my gosh.
So cool.
And I was made fun of a lot when we were there, and that was not fun.
Pretty fun.
I feel like by Tyler, no doubt. Or if it's Eric and Shanda, let me know, because I will handle that.
It started with Tyler.
Of course.
We passed an aquarium, and I was, hi, Grandma. We passed an aquarium, and I was like, oh my gosh, look, there's an aquarium. I've never been to one of those before. And then we passed the aquarium again, and
5 minutes.
And I didn't know that it was the same aquarium at first, and I was like, is that another aquarium? Not knowing it was the same aquarium, and so it was a joke. So every time they saw anytime they saw that aquarium or a sign that said aquarium, they're like, oh my gosh, Nahkita, it's another aquarium.
I just want to know who was driving in circles here. Okay.
We had to.
All right. So Eric didn't know where he was going.
Yeah, when
There's always a thread. That's awesome.
I was made fun of a lot.
I think picked on in a loving way. That's more accurate. But
we had some really good experiences.
I made a lot of friends there. There was a guy who pretended to be Scottish the whole time. Oh my gosh. Because we became really good friends with him because we shared a van. We shared a van with his group, and we went on all the trips with them. And on the last day, they went up to the front, and I thought he was going to like confess to his friend because like they were really close. And he was like, I'm not actually Scottish, and talked in a regular voice.
Yeah, he had a pretty good Scottish accent.
wow.
Yeah, it was like I really thought it was real.
That's so
It
good.
was pretty.
Wow. That's amazing. So what was like, I don't know, what was your biggest takeaway from that? And then I think we'll have one final question.
Yeah.
But what was your sort of your mountaintop moment from that mission trip?
We got to I gotta think. I'm sorry. I gotta think of all the different things that we did. We
Helped a lot of people.
if we did. I know the one day we like cleaned and mowed and picked up sticks like 5 different lots
Wow.
in one day, and that is the only thing that's coming.
Yeah, Eric was saying like the volunteers couldn't believe like how they're like, man, these kids from West Virginia, like they're getting wheelbarrows and stuff. And he's like, and here's Nahkita just picking up this 50-pound bag of mulch, throwing it on her shoulder, and just like, or just ripping up
Well,
logs.
literally, they were literally. I grabbed one of the big logs, tossed it over my shoulder, and drug it. And it took like 2 other people to do one of the other ones. They gave me a weird look.
We helped with Habitat for Humanity movement,
We-
an office around
Oh, that was so much fun too.
chair races.
This is what I love about Nahkita. Everything is fun to her. It really doesn't matter what you're doing. Like you could just be kicking grab hold. And she's like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. So like, yes, you're just a delight and a light to be around. But we want to close this. We appreciate you talking to our listeners. But we want to close with kind of that final question about advice, right?
Yeah. Okay. What would you advice or anything you would give to somebody who is seeking God or a new believer? What kind of advice would you give them in their walk with God?
Don't give up. I know it's really easy to give up, and it seems like he's not there a lot. And I know I feel like it sometimes too. It feels like you're alone, but you're not. You just need to believe that you're not. It's in his word. You're not alone. He's always there. You just need to talk to him. You're never alone. He's literally always with you. Okay? You just need to believe.
Yeah.
He never leaves you.
I just got full body God goals.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
That's
she's
so
100%
good.
correct.
And I think looking back, like you can see, like God was holding you all those years, all those hard years. He was right there, and he's going to keep moving into the future with you too, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, Nahkita, we really appreciate you being here and interviewing on our Blues Day Tuesday.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love this now that we do this on Tuesdays, and I love that we got to see you today, and just can't wait to
Yeah, we love you like nobody's business. So, guys, if you're wondering what this Big Blue thing is all about, it is just helping kids and just pouring into people like Nahkita. And we're just, we're grateful for all that God's doing in our lives.
Real quick, I'm going to go. A couple weeks ago, I stacked a stone.
You did? What was it?
I remember our Sundays when we used to get together, and it was like 2 or 3 of us,
Uh-huh.
and it was mainly the Montgomerys and you.
Yeah, are there a lot of them now?
We have like 8 now. So
Really?
that's the
Oh my gosh.
because we put in a lot of years of nobody showing up, and Nahkita showed up, and we just kept saying we're gonna stay consistent, and now it's working. And I knew Nahkita would be so happy.
I'm so. Oh my
It's
god.
off. Like
She's one of those kids that just showed up.
like she said, don't give up. Don't give up. So, yeah, that's great advice, Nahkita. Love it.
And Nahkita is one of the stones we can stack here
Amen to that.
as a gift.
Amen.
All right, thank you guys.
Bye, guys.